Hey everybody, it is Adam from Chested, and it is time for another Makerspace tour. Now, we have done dozens of these all over the country at this point, but we didn't have to look far for the space we're about to visit because it's right in my own backyard of Oakland, California. And it's right in my own backyard, which is funny because the space is called NIMBY, not in my backyard. And yet it is. Get it? Snook, first and foremost, tell me why it's called NIMBY.
Basically, we'd always start a project in somebody's front yard or backyard or whatever, and at some point, a neighbor of the city would complain, and it was not in my backyard.
Oh, okay, so it's a double entendre. On one half, it's so your neighbors who don't want stuff happening near or in their backyards don't complain, but the other is so that you don't have to work in your backyard,
exactly.
Which was my theory. Tell me about the origin. When did you start this place? How did it come to be?
I started out at the shipyard. I'd looked at in Berkeley, Jim Mason, and went to another disaster of a space, and just wanted my own workspace. I had to have something functional where you could do whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I was looking for 2,500 square feet, and the computer kicked out 28,000. You know, the business plan was rent to more friends. So we got 28,000 square feet, and
started renting to a whole bunch of friends.
We got a bunch of people to pay in advance, so we bought these really ratty containers and put them in.
How long ago was this?
2004.
So it's been going for 13 years.
A couple lifetimes ago.
How many people are participating in the space right now?
Right now, I think we've got about 80 studios.
On any given day, how many people are using the various spaces here?
During the week, there's probably 30 or 40 people. On the weekends, it's crazy.
And the spaces are built into some of these truck containers, is that right?
Yeah.
So they're like mobile shops. Have you been able to pick up a shop and move it?
We moved from West Oakland to East Oakland in 4 days.
Wow. I love the compartmentalization carried all the way to a shop is something that pleases me greatly. Well, I think Dave is going to give me a walking tour of the whole space. Snook, thank you so much for inviting us in. I find spaces like this super inspiring.
We're glad to have you.
Thanks, man. All right, David, as far as I can tell, the space seems to be comprised of studio spaces, storage, and shops. And in our tour, this is our first stop. I'm guessing this is the machine shop?
Yeah, this space is currently being configured. We were renting a small machine shop from someone who had a space here in East Oakland for 60, 70 years.
Oh, wow.
He sold that space and just gave us all of his equipment. And it's all really usable stuff.
Yeah.
But we've had to find room for it. We've had to reconfigure the space.
A lot of power requirements for these bigger machines. And you have to consider how multiple people will be using this space at once, safely, how they'll find all the things, the chucks and collets and tools that they need.
Yeah, and hopefully not ruin them.
Right. You have some sort of training system so that people get certified on various tools.
Yeah, right? with the machinist machines, like people have to be certified. Laney College is a small college, junior college here in the Bay. A lot of people go there to learn their skills.
And it's compounded by the problem that there isn't a single thing in here that weighs less than several hundred, if not several thousand pounds.
Yeah, you can't just pick it up and move it to the other side of the room. It's not how it works. Yeah.
The machine shop's always my favorite space. I don't know why, Okay, what's the next stop?
Next, we're going to go take a look at the metal shop.
Fabulous, lead on.
Okay.
So the metal shop.
Yeah, this is the metal shop. This is one of the 2 shared workshops at NIMBY. We also have a wood shop. We'll go there in a minute. There are a certain amount of equipment in here that people can use. We have grinders, chop saws, drill presses. This is a giant bandsaw behind us. These things are all here for the tenants to use. They're supposed to bring their things in here, work on their project, clean up, and take it out. And sometimes it
never works
that
like
way.
That, does it?
Sometimes it does.
This is going to be one of the noisier spaces here, am I right?
It is. When I bring prospective tenants through the building, I always point out where we're at, how that will affect what they're doing. There are some people who can't be over here because of the metal dust that kind of gets kicked up. Their equipment's too sensitive, or it's going to ruin their paintings.
Right.
So where you are in the warehouse
it matters.
It's key. Yeah.
Now, tell me. I know why, but our viewers might not know why. How come the tools and many of the things in here are painted red?
Red indicates that this is a NIMBY tool. tenants are welcome to use it. We have toolboxes out, we have pegboards, obviously we keep some on the table. But this is a NIMBY tool. If it's red, it needs to come back. And we do kind of walk around and just kind of collect things every once in a while and return them to where they're supposed to be.
Well, I remember as a journeyman, when I would travel from job site to job site, I painted all of my tools a specific color. At first, I think it was actually, my color for about a decade was bright yellow and neon orange stripes. Oh no, I mean, it's hideous. No one else would want these tools.
Nobody would
but
want
the goal is no one else would want these tools. Okay, so the next stop on this tour is the wood shop, is that right?
Right around this way.
Let's go.
So this is the wood shop, one of the other shared shops at NIMBY.
I'm really impressed with how wide open and far apart the tools are. If you left me to my own devices in a space like this, I would pack it full of stuff, but you guys have kept it impressively open.
Well, it takes a lot of work to keep it open, and the use of the space is always an issue, and we're constantly reconfiguring things, moving the walls, moving the pallet racks to give people the space that they need to build, giant sculptures or to work on multiple things simultaneously.
So one of your jobs is to look at the usage patterns of the people working here and help facilitate that.
And to also kind of calculate how much of the space are we using for the wood shop? Is that enough? Is it too much?
Right.
Recently, I sectioned off a corner of the wood shop in the back and rented it out to someone. Because there was just too much space, and it was just filling with tools and items and donations and scrap wood.
I love the fact that you guys are always open to modifying and reconfiguration. That seems like a really crucial thing with the shared space.
Yeah, I mean, there are some things that don't move.
Sure.
Like a lot of the double stacked shipping containers in the other side of the NIMBY.
Yeah.
They're there.
Yeah.
They're not moving. But I mean, having the flexibility to allow people to create massive works of art and small works of art is very important.
Totally. Well, thank you so much for giving me a tour.
No problem.
This place makes me want to get my hands dirty, and I can't give a higher compliment.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm feeling heat coming off. These guys
these are the kilns. This is where we hold the glass, and so here's some things that are just kind of in progress.
And you can just keep that hot and workable, even though it's sitting on a flat surface.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is I was turning solid rods of glass here into tubing here.
Wow.
And then this is some other project we're working on. There we go. Yeah, it gets a little crazy sometimes.
When you work with glass, is like about a third of your memory things that you made breaking unexpectedly?
Things definitely break.
1/3 sounds accurate.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was going to say.
Yeah.
or maybe half.
I was going to say, there must be all this, like, it is.
Yeah, or you hear like just a tiny little crack. You don't really know where that came from.
Yeah,
but you know it's in there.
Oh, man. Oh, that must.
You're like, oh no.
Okay, so what is the tool that's here? Okay, like I'm looking around. I'm always interested in weird tools. What the hell is this for?
So this is a cutting tool.
Oh, right! It's for cutting round stuff.
Yeah, so say like this, you just kind of score it.
It better work.
Yeah. And then you kind of just snap it forward.
No!
And you get a nice clean cut here.
That is really nice.
Yeah, that one's, they call this the jaws of life.
And you buy replacement
Yeah, you
blades?
can buy a little replacement blade. I think I need one right now. It's having a little trouble gripping, but
These
still
are
does
just
the job.
normal skateboard bearings?
Yeah.
Perhaps? Yeah. What is another tool here that I might not have seen elsewhere? I love industry-specific tools.
This is another cutting tool. It's for cutting more solid rods. And this you can kind of just grab something like that and squeeze.
What?
And it just cuts it open.
Wow.
These are just, they don't
Hardened
really move.
steel,
but,
right. They don't roll.
These ones are great. They're just normal tongs, but they're helpful. This is Kevlar on there.
Yeah.
So
So you grab
stuff in the
super hot
kiln.
stuff.
And then a lot of tools we use are made out of graphite paddles.
Is that for shaping the glass once it's icy,
shaping
right?
tools.
Oh, see, these are like lathe tools almost, or like
And graphite's cool because
sculpting
it
tools.
absorbs the heat. So it'll like cool something down.
Huh.
And we'll have metal tools too. Graphite slides better too, so it slides the glass around, doesn't move it as much as a steel tool.
Really cool. This looks like you guys have a lot of fun here.
We do.
Oh, this is also for cutting, but for cutting soft glass, like hot glass?
No, I use that all the time for borosilicate.
Really?
Yeah.
Jacks. What's those called?
Jacks?
Wait, those are diamond shears.
Diamond shears.
Excuse me.
God, I love how
This is a
this
little
looks like what
this
the
is a
villain
mini
brings to
jack.
collect on a loan.
Oh, right?
Yeah, right? You just get a little bit of
those
that.
are one of the
Just take the
coolest
tip. Just a
coolest
little
ones.
bit.
Yeah, right?
For a cigar or something.
$100. Very cool. Guys, thank you so much for showing me the
thank you.
space.
Thank you, Adam.
Really appreciate it. Hello. Hello, Gaige.
Hi.
A pleasure, Claudie.
Yes, hi.
Nice to meet you. I love your space. Can you tell me about the kind of stuff you guys do in here?
Little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, we do copper, we do sculpture, small, big, we do leather work, we do fabric stuff, we do special costume, we do props for different movies and stuff like this. So we touch,
seriously a little bit of everything.
we touch pretty much any material, and a lot of times when we don't know how to do things, we do some research and bring new materials that we never tried before. So it's always a new experience.
Very cool. I'm noticing this. I was just in a shop in England with an armorer who did all his armor making using tree stumps to hammer into.
Right.
You're using this for metalwork?
That's what I was told to use.
Amazing. Do you remember what kind
Yes.
of wood this is?
I think it's fir.
Okay.
I think traditionally they burned them out. And they started a fire, and then they would beat it into the charred out hole in there. I use power tools.
You guys, okay.
Because I want more, specific stuff. And then
What is this giant steel popsicle?
that is a cannonball.
Oh,
welded
yeah,
to a
okay.
stick.
Using this as a metal forming tool?
Yes.
Ah, that's awesome. What are you working on right now? I noticed you've got some sort of monster on the stand there.
Yeah, it's just a creature. I'm testing out a new product that I found, and I just decided to make a little sculpture with it to test it out. And
It looks horrifying in the best way.
Yes, it's kind of like a cat alien thing. I'm not sure quite yet.
I also noticed these. Can I grab one of these?
Sure.
These really fascinate me. This is a carved wooden skull?
Yes.
Holy cow.
Yeah. I used to work at a wood shop up in Oregon.
It's amazing. It's really astounding.
It's how you can, you can do two pieces that fit together.
Right.
These were carved separately.
Amazing. When I look at something I spend a tremendous amount of time on, I go right back to the sense memory of all that.
The first one's easy to make because you're excited about it.
Right,
you know?
yes.
And then the second one gets harder, and then they get harder and harder, and then it becomes a job.
Like bungee
That's why
jumping.
we keep bouncing around to all these different things all the time, is so that we don't have to do one thing only all the time.
I feel you on that. Some people ask me like, how do you deal with projects that you don't finish? And I'm like, most of my projects are unfinished.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yes, me too. It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm not even going to invite you into the.
Oh
into the
yeah.
box.
So I have a whole wall in my shop devoted just to uncompleted projects, so they're all staring at me because I kind of like that.
Do you ever complete them?
Oh yeah. I go up to that frequently. I pull one down and I'll complete it. I'll never ever finish all of them.
Right.
But at least there's always something to work on if I want to take a break from the thing that's kicking my ass. I can't stop fondling this wooden skull.
Yeah.
It is a really, really beautiful piece of work.
Yeah, thank you. I have a particular fascination with skulls. I have some leather ones and some copper ones too.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Well, guys, thank you so much for showing me this space. It's really, really inspiring, and I like that you're going after a little bit of everything.
Good. Well,
Good,
thank you
thanks,
so
man.
much for passing by.
Of course. Cheers.
All right. Have a good day.